I'm happy to introduce you to some essential oils in this video. When I first started my journey of change, one of the things when I was introduced to essential oils, I just wanted to be able to take some of those sharp edges of tension off. Some of those places where I was feeling stuck and unhappy and still holding resentments and grudges. My first oils were oils that I purchased from a wellness advocate. I have since become a wellness advocate. And as I explored more, because when I first learned about them, I knew about the emotional blends because that's what I was interested in. I did not realize, maybe even for a year or more, that yes, all of the essential oils are individual, but I didn't realize they were good for my body too. So that's another whole lesson. But since I was really working on changing and just being able to change my emotional state, when I looked at some of the difficulties I was having with still carrying resentments, still being very, very hard on myself, I'm going to share some of the blends that I really liked. And yes, I have worn off more than one label because these are the oils, a few of the oils that I carry with me all the time. They live in my car. It is not recommended that oils be at high temperature. And living in California, summers in the outside of the car can be over 100 degrees. So in the car, we know it's way over that. But the first blend that really, when I put them together, that I've shared the most, what blend, if you're looking for that start, Forgive, and my label is Console, but it does have the little label on the top. That was one that I just kept using over and over and over again. A single that I did start using was lavender. Lavender is about calming and relaxing. I had days where it was a struggle to have my mood elevated. So I could be all glum faced, but if I wanted a little more, I would add elevation. It's like kind of just said the word. Maybe I would use cheer. And a friend of mine swears by lemon as a mood elevator. Whether you put a drop in your water, don't put it in plastic, definitely don't put it in styrofoam, but you can put many of these essential oils into waters, foods. Most are consumable. Some are used only topically, some are used aromatically. Another one that I used a lot of was Serenity. These did not just stay in my personal stash of uses, and I don't think I have it out here, but as a tax preparer, I would often, toward the end of the season, when people were getting a little more stressed about what their return was not going to be, I would wear Balance, because just the aromatic experience is beneficial for those around you too. Sometimes I would use Peace, but a lot of the time I used Balance. Many days I switched between the two. One of the combinations that I used, and because in this video I wanted to use Epsom salts and actually show you how easy it is to make a salt bath, and I don't use a bathtub, I use a shower, so they're just as good in the shower. But I was so used to wearing so many hats, so many personalities, so many faces. Times I wondered if I really was multiple personalities, but I wasn't. I just had learned to wear so many masks for so many situations. But I learned the wonderful combination of cilantro oil and black pepper oil for taking off that mask and exposing. And it was about exposing me. As I moved on in the journey, I found out it was okay to practice loving myself. One of the oils that I used the most for that was actually bergamot. With bergamot, I do recommend that you dilute it with a carrier oil. It can be used topically. So I would put a drop on my heart, but it was a little bit too strong for my skin. So when I started diluting it with carrier oil, or even just putting lotion on first, that really started bringing in some of that self-acknowledgement, maybe was even the better word. So what I want to make this evening is something just fun and simple, because sometimes we have those favorite fragrances. I was really excited when I was able to pick up a magnolia oil. Magnolia comes in a roller ball, so it's already diluted, but it so brought me back to the smell of magnolia. But for this oil, what am I going to do? I'm going to use Serenity. And I have this little cup. It's almost a half a cup. It's like I think it said 3.45 ounces. So I'm just going to take some plain unscented Epsom salts, and I'm going to fill up that half cup, and we'll just call it half cup. And I could do it on camera. I forget there's a camera here and I can do that. I'm so used to just focusing if I'm doing something. And I'm going to leave a little extra space in it, not fill it up completely, because I like to shake it and then it's easier to mix. Serenity. Had to look and see what I was looking for. So we have almost a half a cup here, and I'm going to add, and I'm going to look at my notes. When they recommend making a full batch, they recommend using 1 cup of salts and 10 drops. So if I'm going to use a fourth of that, I'll use 2.5 drops. Okay, I'll check 2. I put 3. So 3 is going to be what it is in this one. And then you can stir it with a spoon. I'm going to put the lid back on and just shake it. And it really doesn't take much effort. Just shake it up a little. It has the light scent in there. And then I'm going to just bring it back up to the camera. Bring it up so it's almost that full cup. Put the lid back on. Shake it another time. And then I will label it or take it directly into the shower with me. And I have my Serenity bath salts. There's something else that's amazing about salts that was very, very instrumental after I learned it. Salts are also good at removing negative energies that attach to us, negative things that we collect in life. And so even a salt bath just helps rinse those away. And I can get into some do it this way, but just sprinkle it on you and then just feel the water washing all that negative away with that salt. And I probably am going to make another one tonight because I like certain fragrances. And I'm choosing to make a patchouli bath salt. So you can stick around with me while I do that, because so many things do trigger us by fragrance. It is supposed to, I know, I'm pouring it. It's quicker and easier. We are often triggered by fragrance first. And patchouli is one of the fragrances that I haven't enjoyed since I was gosh, barely a teenager maybe. So I'm going to put as many drops as I can without pouring a whole lot. Patchouli is a little bit thicker oil, so I'm working a little harder rather than just having it drip off gently. It kind of needs a little shake. So that was, oops, my third and fourth drop. That's okay. But this recipe is designed for a cup with 10 drops. So it's always easy to adjust whichever way you would like. And then I'll shake it up and treat myself. For this particular 1 cup to 10 drops recipe, they do recommend that you add a quarter to a half cup into your tub. So that makes a half cup just perfect. Thank you for enjoying essential oils with me, and my disclosure, I am now a wellness advocate with the company doTerra, and I will post my website link in the comments. If you would like more information, you can check there or you can reach out, because essential oils have been one of those really, really fun things that I've been able to adapt and change, and it's been spectacular. Going from that, wow, if I could only take the edge off. Welcome to the next video too.